What if you could step into a place where time itself bends, where one day could hold a year's worth of progress? That, my friends, is the power of Dragon Ball Z's hyperbolic time chamber. And today, we're going to recreate that very same experience in real life to help you eliminate distractions, prioritize your goals, and to beat those feelings of guilt. Now, you may be wondering, what exactly is the hyperbolic time chamber? Well, first, just understand this. Hyperbolic time chamber is a special room inside of Kami's Lookout. And what I mean by special is that it's actually a completely separate dimension. See, inside of the hyperbolic time chamber, time flows just a little bit differently. Whereas one normal day outside of it equals an entire year inside of it. But that's not the only thing that's weird about it. Inside the time chamber, you are succumb to really harsh conditions, like 10 times Earth's gravities, drastically fluctuating weather, and the further out from the center of it, the actual room itself, the worse and more often these fluctuations start to happen. But that's kind of just like the basic baseline of what the hyperbolic time chamber is. For the purposes of this video, what I want to focus on is kind of what it represents. And that is, it's a place where you can get some intense focus done and have total dedication to whatever your training is in this sense. Now, while we can't truly recreate the hyperbolic time chamber, one-to-one, because we don't have another dimension in our back pockets, what we can do is take the principles from it and create our very own time chamber, custom made to fit your needs and your goals. And we do that by using a simple time management technique called time blocking, or sometimes calendar blocking. And the idea behind it is you block out a piece of time on your calendar, like you actually schedule it. And during that time, all of your attention and all of your focus is applied to whatever task you set aside for it. And while it may seem kind of simple and honestly kind of obvious, if you do it right, you're going to find that it creates a whole window of opportunities. And I'm going to cover 3 of those right here in this video. Now, have you ever found yourself doing about 15 things at once? Like answering a text, you're checking that email, scrolling through social media, all while trying to actually get some real work done? And now let's be honest, you may think that you're multitasking, but in reality, your focus is pretty scattered. And this is where we actually end up losing hours without even realizing it. And that's where the power of having your own hyperbolic time chamber really comes in. You're able to set aside time to actually get work done. And by doing so, you're eliminating as many distractions as, physically possible. Think back to when Goku and Gohan stepped into the hyperbolic time chamber. The only thing they had in there was nothing but just this vast whiteness surrounding them. There were no distractions, there were no pressures from the outside world, just themselves and their goals to grow stronger in order to, beat Cell. And it's in this isolated space that they have no choice but to just focus on their training without worrying about anybody else or anything else happening. Like now for me, when I send it to my time block for working on my business, whether it's with the channel or the coaching aspect of it, there are a couple of things that I choose to do to kind of help me kind of get into the zone. One of which is actually taking this thing right here and putting it in airplane mode, or just turning it off outright. And next thing I do is I put on some lo-fi music from YouTube, something that really helped me focus and to get into that headspace. And the last thing I do is start a timer, because I prescribe to another time management technique called the Pomodoro method, which I'm going to go into this video. So if you're curious about it, Google is a free resource. Now, this setup may work for me, but the goal of your own personal time chamber is to, customize it to you. For you, maybe you need to put your phone completely in a different room. Maybe you need to actually physically get up and move to another room or just a different building altogether, just so you can really get into that headspace and remove as many distractions as possible. And then for those of us who live with other people, sometimes it's better to just tell them, hey, I really need X amount of time to be just uninterrupted, right? I love you guys, but for the next 2 hours, I need you not to exist right now. I know, maybe don't put it to them that way, but you get the idea. The key here is to eliminate the most common distractions that you have in your day-to-day life, in your environment. That way you can sit down and truly focus on those goals that you're trying to crush. So, have you ever felt the sudden rush to finish something when you're running out of time? I know I have. And it's that urgency that really forces you to focus and to get things done really, really fast. Now, what if you could harness that power, that sense of urgency, that idea of, okay, I need to get this done right here, right now, at will? Well, therein lies the second benefit of having your own personal hyperbolic time chamber: prioritizing and having a sense of urgency. See, in the hyperbolic time chamber, Goku and the other Z fighters only have a very limited amount of time before they have to leave, and they don't know if they'll ever get another chance, so every moment really counts. They train as if it's, well, now or never, pushing themselves harder with each passing minute. And it's this sense of urgency that forces them to grow faster, to do in mere days what would normally take them actually years to accomplish. And for me, I do this with my own content schedule. So I know when I have to get a video out, just like this one. So there are a list of several things that I know I have to do within a week's time to make sure I keep up with my weekly cadence, whether that's researching topics, coming up with a title, coming up with a thumbnail, scripting, recording, editing, and then finally posting the video. And having each of these steps laid out and then knowing that I only have a limited amount of time on each one, it creates a sense of urgency for me. And it helps me realize that, hey, I don't have all day to work on these things. So I need to make every moment count when I do sit down to work on it. So to create a sense of urgency in your own time chamber, use time blocking to set specific times for each and every goal. You can block out time for tasks that will truly make a difference in whether it's your business and your fitness, whatever it is that you're striving for, and treat that time like this is the only time you're ever going to get. And when you know you only have, let's say, an hour to work on something, your focus naturally is going to be more intense because you are determined and dedicated to this time. And it's that sense of urgency that keeps you moving forward, maximizing the time you have to truly get the results that you want. Hey, if you're liking the video so far and you feel like you're ready to kind of take that next step in your life and your goals, then sign up for a free clarity call with me. Now, my goal here is to help you tackle life with confidence in yourself and in your abilities that I know are lurking beneath the surface, but you may not be fully aware of. And again, this call is completely free. I can't emphasize that enough. The only thing it's going to cost you is about 30 minutes of your day. So if that interests you, then feel free to click on the link in the description below. And hey, I'll see you there. Have you ever found yourself scrolling through social media and you feel like you're just not doing enough? Like everyone's out there just achieving and grinding and just making it happen, and you somehow are just falling short. Well, in reality, it's that idea of comparison that can really drain you and make you question your worth. It makes you question if you really are doing enough. Now, when Goku and the Z Fighters enter their time chamber, this is a key mindset shift. They aren't focused on anyone else's progress. They're focused on pushing their own limits and to see how much stronger that they can get. They're not worried about anybody else in this moment. And as tempting as it is to compare ourselves to others, we must stay focused on our own goals, on our own journey, because that's the only way we're truly going to be able to see that progress. And I'm speaking from my own personal experience. I used to watch my YouTube analytics like daily, sometimes hourly. That's how obsessed I was. And I was constantly comparing myself to other content creators in the same niche as me and in similar niches. Content creators like Anime Relatable, Christian Anime Podcast, Lessons from Anime. And I just became obsessed and distracted with the numbers and seeing, okay, well, they're doing X amount of views per video while mine's only getting this amount and things like that. But now that I've made this kind of mindset shift for me and I'm more focused on, well, the content than just the views, it's really upped my game. At least I like to think so anyway. You guys let me know in the comments below if you feel like my videos have gotten better, because I feel like they have. Now, when it comes to your own time chamber, make your time there, make your productivity about your own progress. Don't worry about what other people are doing or what they're saying and all of this stuff. Instead, set your own goals and measure yourself against your past self. That's it. Because at the end of the day, you're only competing with yourself, and that's all that matters. And by doing this, it removes the feeling of guilt that comes from, well, feeling like you're not doing enough, that you should be more and more. It allows you to be more productive and not just busy, because all that mental baggage is finally gone away. So what I truly want you to do, if you don't get anything else out of this, is to focus on building a life that fulfills you and not one that just looks good on social media. So, you ready to create your own hyperbolic time chamber? Well, don't wait. Take 1 hour today, schedule it out, block it out, whatever you need to do to truly focus on those goals. Eliminate all those distractions, prioritize the right tasks, and when you come out of it, you're not going to feel any sense of guilt because you know you gave it your all. And you might be surprised. It could be just the final key that you're missing to get to that next level. And if you're looking for more ways to get better and to improve yourself, then check out the video on the screen where I talk about how to build unstoppable confidence.